Hey everyone, so this is my review of American Horror Story Roanoke, episode 5 called Chapter 5. And basically what this episode is about is with the mob outside of their house, Shelby, Matt, and Flora seek help from a new face to try and escape from the butcher's wrath. And this was a really great episode that kind of didn't have a lot to it, but still managed to be fairly entertaining. Because basically all this episode about is their attempted escape from the butcher. And this episode I really loved finally meeting like the original creator of the house, and his whole backstory and all that was really interesting and really fun to see. Especially the fact that it was Evan Peters. And just seeing all of what happened to him because of the butcher and all this stuff I absolutely loved. And it also was kind of sad to see the final, apparently, death of the owner that owned the house prior to Matt and Shelby. Seeing how he eventually actually ended up dying was really, really gruesome, but really, really kind of cool to see, I guess. And then it was also really interesting to see the other people who tried to buy the house away from Shelby and Matt. To see them up again and see like how they're connected to everything, where actually they kind of work for the butcher. So if they don't find someone to sacrifice to the butcher on the nights of the Red Moon, then they basically give up one of their own family to do it, which is just kind of insane, but also kind of reasonable now that you've seen them and how they work and all that stuff. And then I was not expecting the turn of trust that the butcher's son had on the butcher. I was not expecting that at all, but it was so cool to see like him basically sacrifice himself to stop the butcher from killing Flora, and the ability for Flora, Matt, and Shelby to get away was so cool to see, and I kind of can't wait to see how that outcome might turn on the butcher's son in the episodes to come. And then Lee finally getting out of being held in jail and all of what went on with her was also really interesting to see, and it finally also kind of proved one of the things I said in the past review, that the police might also be working for these ghosts and understand what's actually all going on. And this episode kind of proved it when one of the police officers just kind of like tossed Lee out and ran away, kind of like he knew what was going on. So I'm happy that that finally got confirmed, that basically everyone in the town must know what goes on at this house, but they just avoid talking about it. And then I'm very curious with how this episode ended, what these next 5 episodes are going to bring, because of the fact that Shelby, Matt, and Lee, and Flora are away from the house. So something must happen to make them come back to the house, or something involving all this must go on for there to be 5 more episodes of this stuff. So I'm really curious and excited to see how all that's going to turn out. So yeah, that's my review of American Horror Story Roanoke, episode 5 called Chapter 5. So yeah, bye!